the end of the year, I consciously hit the reset button. I like to do a bunch of little activities that amplify the fresh start effect that New Year's brings, and I create videos about these activities. So far, we have planned our New Year's Eve, created a vision board, and in today's video, I'm going to be spending some time getting my life together by ticking off the little unfinished tasks in my life before the new year begins. Every month or two, I do a big brain dump of all of the little tasks that have been annoying me, that I have been procrastinating, or that just need to be done. And I batch them in what I call a life admin day. Since we are nearing the end of the year, I wanted to do a big life admin day and get all of those little tasks that are bugging me off of my plate. I don't want to go into the new year with things that I've been procrastinating, with things that need to be done around the house, with things that have been annoying me, with things that I know I need to do but I don't want to do. Without further ado, let's get into the life admin day. So I started my life admin day out by doing a big tidy of the house. I wanted to create momentum in my morning, and one of the best ways that I find to do that is to kick off with a tidy. It's a little-ish task. It creates so much motivation, and once you've started, it's hard to stop doing things. You feel motivated after you've tidied. I did a few little extras as I tidied, like I cleaned the mirror in my bathroom, I cleaned my mouse mat, I put away a basket of clothes. We've only just started and I'm already feeling great. My house is tidy. I've done a few little things to make it extra clean. I am ready. I am dressed. Then I sat down and I brain dumped every little task that I could think of. It helps to walk around your home in your mind and actually look through each room to trigger you to remember any tasks that you might have forgotten about as you do your brain dump. So I actually started my day by doing my groceries online. Not a typical life admin task, but it really needed doing. I use the AnyList grocery app and I connect it with our Google Homes so that we can shout our groceries at Google in the day, which is why some of the items on the list look like this. If you're thinking about brain dumping, but you're like, oh, I can't really think of anything, there's nothing coming to mind, I know I have things to do, but it's just not coming to me, you're in the right place. A while ago, I created a full brain dump prompting video that you can listen to in the background as you brain dump. I use it all the time. And if you're a member of my app, which I'll have linked down below, Intention, then you get the extended version as well. So before you do your life admin day, listen to that audio, do a huge brain dump, get everything off your mind. This is just a good activity to do for New Year's in general. Once that was done, I ticked off the first item on my list, returning my heater to the shed. This heater will be in storage until June. If you can, try to start out your life admin day with little wins like this. Focus more on creating momentum by starting with the easy things. It gives you motivation to start and to keep going. The next task was a little one, which is just cleaning the cat door. For a very clean cat, her cat door gets very dirty. I've also noticed that around the edges are just getting super grimy, so I'm going to scrub those as well. I wiped down the cat door and I also got a toothbrush to scrub around it with some cleanser. It may not look like it, but it is a lot better. You're never gonna get this looking perfect because our area is super DIY. Like, my dad built this, he's a computer programmer. I helped into my cute painting clothes. I got some paint out of the shed, ready to do my next task, which was painting our front door. It's difficult to see, but the paint is definitely faded and it actually looks like it wasn't properly painted in the first place. Like, I don't know if you can see the blue. It looks like blue behind that. Pre-painting, I was definitely judging the person who painted this previously, who was in fact my dad, but post-painting, I realized that I am a terrible painter, so my judgment disappeared. The door looks so much better and I don't know if it comes across on camera. You can see that it still needs another coat of paint. There's that blue that's shining through. It looks 1,000 times better. In person, the difference is really noticeable. Then I headed out to take myself on some errands. I don't like going to shopping centers at the best of times, and at this time of year, it was so busy. I picked up some containers for a life admin task that I'm doing. I finally got myself a replacement sticky bra because my current one is literally falling off of my body each time I wear it. I had a little Toffee Nut Crunch Christmas frappe on oat with plant-based whipped cream to break up my trip. And I also grabbed a new hand towel holder to replace our current one, which is very lopsided. That's a task I'm going to get someone else to do for me. I also bought this panel. Currently we have shelving in the bathroom and the backing is literally a door, so we want to put this panel in. Keep in mind that some of the tasks on your life admin day should be tasks like this, which are really just starter tasks that get things moving. Instead of committing to doing that whole project on your life admin day, choose to do just one thing that will make that task less overwhelming when you get to it. On your next life admin day, you can take the next step until it feels less overwhelming and more doable for you. That's how I felt about this task. So getting this panel was a really big first step, and it made me feel like, yes, I am capable of completing this whole task. When I got home, I did something that has been on my list for a really long time that I honestly would easily never feel like doing, which is creating a will. This has been on my to-do list for about a year, and that's not an exaggeration. time. I want it off. It's really only on there because my beautiful mother, who's very on top of things, told me that getting one was the responsible thing to do, so here I am. Despite not wanting to actually put together a will for myself, I found an online site with lots of reviews to write this up on. It feels weird to even say that I'm just casually writing my will, but if you are interested, the website I used was willed.com.au. Obviously not sponsored. This felt like a really big, kind of scary life admin task, and I was really glad to get it out of the way. So I'm waiting for them to get back to me about my will, but that had me tearing up. Confronting your own death, isn't that a fun time? I carried my life admin into the next day, starting by organizing this. So this is my partner's space in the bathroom, and while he doesn't care that everything in it is totally inaccessible and painful to put back, I do. So I got rid of this container and I replaced it with an acrylic one. So we have a bigger container. This isn't what I was originally going to use, but everything didn't fit into this, but this is sitting inside the bigger container, as well as this. Everything is nice and contained basically. In this, everything is a lot more accessible. It's a lot more organized and you can see everything that's in it clearly, whereas the other one was up to about there and it was that material, so you couldn't see through it. Everything was harder to get out and as a result harder to put back in. This container was like $7 from Stacks and this one was from Officeworks. I'm not too sure how much it was. You can see everything.
Yes.
So much better.
Yes.
The next task on my list was finally replacing this couch cover that has been ripped at the seams for over a year. These have completely split open. I don't know if we got a bad cover or what went wrong, but over there is a new cover that I've ordered and I'm hoping that it's not going to have the same problem, but there's obviously no guarantee. I really don't know what to do to stop this from splitting. We probably could go to a seamstress and get her to try and stitch it back up, but even you can see like it's so hard to just pull together even, and it splits when you're putting it on. That's been annoying me for a long time, so I'm really excited to get it replaced. We've been covering this up for a throw blanket for way too long. It was time for it to finally be replaced. So we took off the current cover and we got rid of it, and Luke helped me to put the new one back on the couch. So putting on the new one, you can tell that a lot of people must have complained about this because this is the design of ours. You Velcro it underneath, whereas this one has like a full-on zipper system going on. How much better does that look? Oh, that makes me so happy. It's just so nice to have it put on. It's such a good feeling doing these little tasks. The next task was organizing these extension cords in the storage space in the couch. I really wanted these cords nice and organized. When they're jumbled together, they're just so hard to get out. But right now they look incredibly messy separated. So I used some of the containers that I had bought to store them in. I was really worried that these would be too tall, but they are the perfect size. I stored a cord in each container, lining the containers against the side of the storage box. This is the most organized this space has ever looked in my entire time living here. That looks so good, and it'll be so much better to get the cords out of those boxes. Oof, I'm happy. My next task was replacing the desk organizers that I have with acrylic ones that I picked up from Officeworks. So we're replacing these with these. I went ahead and I put everything into my new organizers and it felt like a whole new desk. I think against the brown, which may change, that cardboard just looked really shocking. So I also want to replace this, maybe not today, but soon, with one of these. So I'm going to take this, quickly just empty it out and see what that looks like. That looks so much better. I know that I can get those from H&M. I feel like it's not coming through on camera just how much better that looks, but it looks astronomically better. So I have this box. So if you've been following me throughout December, you know that I did a decluttering challenge. And my thing was that I needed everything to be either for sale, sold, or donated by the end of the year, like by the time New Year's ticks over. This box has been sitting by my bedside table for way too long, and I know how good it's gonna feel when it's gone. It's gonna make my room feel like much fresher. This is one of my most frivolous purchases this year that I felt would really improve my life. And look, if it had worked, it probably will. It's an automatic cat feeder that rotates. It gives Luna really bad whisker fatigue and she doesn't use it, so we are getting rid of it. There were good reviews on it, so obviously some cats don't get as bad whisker fatigue as others. I made a Halloween costume for myself this year and this is part of it, and obviously I'm not going to use it again, but throwing it away, look at that, stunning. So I think I'm gonna donate it. Someone next Halloween will stumble across these wings and be like, this is exactly what I was looking for. I'd be stoked if I stumbled across these wings. They're such good wings. So this is my small pile of things set to go. I've taken photos of them. They are ready for sale. Finally, the box got folded and thrown in the bin, and I am really glad to never see it again. The next task was a fun one, which is gluing the wheels of my dishwasher. This is one of those tasks that's tiny but will save me so much annoyance. So this is our dishwasher, and it just comes out like this, but you can see that on here the wheels have come off. That's not something that we're really that fussed about, but because it doesn't have the wheels, it doesn't have like the tiniest bit of elevation. So the thing in the middle that swishes all the water around doesn't spin. So every time we do the dishes, we've been just putting these back on, struggling to push this back in without them popping off. So I've got this, which supposedly works with plastics, metals, like a variety of materials. So I'm hoping that we can use it to stick the wheels back on. We don't really care about them actually being wheels, like they can stay in place. So we just need them to elevate this so that our dishes can wash properly. It didn't take me long to glue the wheels on, and so far they have stuck on, so fingers crossed they stay that way. They're all glued. Now I've just got to wait 10 minutes. It has a 10-minute drying time. Fingers crossed this works. I read somewhere recently that the days where you feel the most accomplished are the days where you do multiple different things and you manage to accomplish a few different things in a few areas of your life. And I find that to be really true. I could have a day where I just write all day and I make all of this progress on just one project, but it will not leave me feeling as accomplished as a life admin day where I do like 10 tiny impactful tasks. Last year I did a big deep clean day. I don't think I'm up to it this year if I'm being completely honest, but one thing that I remember doing is cleaning, I think it's called the grout, the edges, I'll show you, of my bathroom. They like yellow over time for whatever reason. We do have a cleaning service, our house is cleaned regularly, but this stuff just kind of hangs around despite how much mopping is done. The difference just scrubbing like a little bit is huge. You really can't see the difference, but I swear it's so much better. This floor is also getting mopped very soon. The next task was the littlest task to procrastinate. Our internet has been so bad for a while, but the router lives in my sister's space, so I went in, I unplugged, and I plugged everything back in. The internet's working fine now. While I was filming, I actually ended up creating another life admin task for myself by losing the screw in my camera, but instead of procrastinating fixing this, I decided to do it on the spot. The screw for my camera fell off in my camera bag. The flip screen was loose, and if you've watched my life admin videos before, you know that this has happened before. Last time I went to 3 different places to figure out how to get it fixed, ending up at an optometrist, but this time I still had the screw, so I could do it myself. I was so ready to go to an optometrist to get that fixed. That saved me so much time. Then I wanted to find an updated 2022 wall calendar to replace my 2021 wall calendar. So many wall calendars are really ugly or they're very colorful and they're not neutral enough, but this one, perfect. So now I'm gonna look for it online. The brand is At a Glance. I really want to start the new year fresh with a new calendar on the wall. There's something about it. I just like the idea of looking at a fresh calendar to kick off my year. Officeworks had my calendar very quickly. I got a text letting me know they'd grabbed it for me. It was a sweaty, hot day, but I went to the shops again and I bought another container for my life admin, and I decided to get some glasses for my desk. I just wanted that task finalized. I just got out of the shops. It's like 3 p.m. If I want to make any calls, I need to make them now. The first call I'm making is booking a car service. I always feel like I'm gonna get scammed by the car people, so I always procrastinate. I was just wondering if I could book in a service for my car. See ya, bye. I booked a car service. So the top of my car looks like this. Someone had put a car up on it before I actually bought it, and then within the time that I bought it, and now this has happened. Probably my fault. I'm sure I haven't taken care of it well, but I want to get it fixed. I just wanted to call to see if I could get a quote to wrap the top of my Toyota Corolla. I've called a place to get a quote about the car wrap. Now I'm booking in just like a yearly dental checkup. I looked at my calendar, my last dental checkup was January last year, so I'll book it for January this year. If I could go for afternoon, that would be amazing. I've booked a dental service. Man, a few calls and you feel like you're on fire. Probably the easiest life admin task, calling people, booking appointments. When I got home, I put these house fly spray cans in the acrylic container on the fridge, just replacing this temporary white container that stood out a little too much. And I replaced my glasses on my desk and it looked so much better. If you liked this video and you find it motivating to watch other people get their life admin done, I have a whole playlist of life admin videos that you can watch. I'm gonna have it linked on the screen as well as down below. If you're also in the mood to reset for the New Year's, I have a whole Reset Your Life playlist that you can watch too. That'll be linked down below as well. I appreciate you so very much and I will see you soon.